Hello there. This is meteorologist Drew Lerner of World Weather Incorporated, and I wanted to take some time today and tell you a little bit about who we are. And a lot of folks, especially the younger generation of traders and farmers, probably have not heard of World Weather Incorporated. One of the big reasons why you might not have heard of us is because of our website. It is not a .com website. It is a .cc website. So if you are looking for us, you need to go to www.worldweather.cc. So that's very important. And I'm going to take you through a quick tour of our website. But before I do so, I want to tell you a little bit more about who we are and what we do. World Weather Incorporated has its roots going back to 1979. Now, that's pretty amazing. It's a long time back in time, but at that point, I began my career in that year as a meteorologist. I worked for a small company that was doing forecasts for public works and radio stations and just kind of general weather information. But the company that owned us at the time was Commodity News Services, and Commodity News Services was a new company that was on the cutting edge of providing news and information for the commodity market trade. And they decided that they wanted us to quit doing weather for public works and instead focus in on agriculture. So starting in 1980, we began a very aggressive campaign learning about agriculture and doing forecasts for the commodity market. At that time, there was a total of 5 companies that were providing agricultural information to the Chicago Board of Trade and its various members. We were one of them at that time. At that time, our name was Global Weather Services. And we actually start off as Midwest Weather Services, but that was upgraded when we went into the agricultural business. Well, long story short, we were a part of the Commodity News Services, which was bought out a couple of times. It last was owned by Bridge Information Systems back in, 2001, I guess it was. And that particular company was trying to buy up many different companies and try to make a mega company for themselves, and they went bankrupt. But the weather group that at that time I was leading did stay intact, but we whittled down to a very small size. And we actually went to my basement. We started off as World Weather Incorporated, just myself as the initial employee and about 5 customers. From that, we grew and we became an international agricultural weather company. We became known as World Weather Incorporated, and we've been around since 2001. And we've been serving all kinds of parts of the weather sector, if you will, but focusing primarily on agriculture. We are experts in the agricultural business. I know there are a lot of other big, powerful companies out there that provide weather information for the ag industry, but we are one of the older ones that have been around for quite some time, at least as my experience is concerned. Now, World Weather Incorporated obviously has only been around for about 24 years, but that's a pretty good long period of time relative to the 46 years of experience that we have in the industry. Well, now I do want to point out, we not only are weather forecasters for the ag industry, but we also do weather forecasts for radio stations. We do a lot of talks, conference talks during the winter season. Actually, we do them year round. We do seasonal outlooks. We also provide weather through some of the energy marketplace, although our forte is definitely agriculture. We support farmers and food companies. We support the brokerage business for the commodity markets. We also support some of the insurance industry as far as weather risk is concerned, and a lot of transportation companies as well. So we are in the midst of the entire weather chain as it relates to agriculture in particular, but we do other work as well. Well, I wanted to show you our website because there's a lot of people that don't even know we exist, let alone what's inside our website. Our website is password protected, unfortunately, so you can't get access to a lot of the information that's in there, but we do want to make it clear what is available. So we have two primary divisions in our website. One is for the Canadian Prairies weather. That is a product that is kind of a separate product that we have for the Canadian producers across that country. And it's a very detailed product. We provide a daily forecast for the Canada Prairies, details about what happens in the coming 7 days, some graphics to support where the precipitation will be. We talk about the impact of that on the ag business there. As far as farming is concerned, we try to be very specific about when precipitation events will occur and when they will end, and what the impact will be. Now, this is just one part of that product. We also have what we call our Canadian Prairies Agricultural Weather Prognosticator, which is a mouthful. It is a newsletter that in the wintertime only comes out once a month, but in the growing season, it comes out every 2 or 3 weeks. And it talks about details of the Canada weather as far as its impact on agriculture. And we will spend a lot of time talking about what has happened, what will be happening, and what the long-term outlook is. Here's an example of the winter outlook for Canada for the November through February period, and also a 30-day outlook. Those get updated routinely. We show soil moisture for various places around the world and talk about areas that are competing with Canada as far as whether their crops are in good shape or bad shape. We go into a few special detailed products here. This is a story on Australia. We talk about the U.S. winter weather outlook, and then South America. A special here on Argentina. Here's one on India. So I think the bottom line is that we try to cover all aspects of the weather industry, and with a special tilt towards the ag part of the world, or the ag sector. So that kind of, in addition to those two products, we also do some radio broadcasts for the ag industry. We will, in the case of the Canadian Prairies weather, we do an audio with the forecast every day, and we also do a video twice a week for the area. So it's not just as some of those folks out there that are providing that weather product for free out there, but we also do the same kind of thing with a special tilt towards the specifics in Canada. Now, the other product that we have, there's actually more than one, but the bigger product is the Market Weather Advantage Plus. And when you're a subscriber to that, one of the things that you have access to is our daily, weekly, and monthly weather maps. And you'll see on our dashboard a page like this, where it is laid out by country or region. And in each of those areas, we have a lot of information available. Our current website is containing about 3 years of data. We will be cutting that back in 2026 to just 1 year because the website has become so large. It's just better to keep it whittled down, but we do keep all of the data. So if we wanted to look at Australia maps, we are, and I should have pointed out that those maps that we saw on the dashboard here were the 5 most recent graphics. So there's a low temperature, a high temperature, Australia rainfall, and a 7-day rain map and low temperatures. And you can just scroll through each one of those maps and see the data that's associated with it. But we only post the most recent 5 maps on this dashboard. We do the same thing for every other place in the world. And then if you want to look at the various kinds of maps that we have historically, you can click on the maps categorically, and you can see there's daily precipitation maps, there's weekly maps, monthly maps, there's soil moisture assessments, both top and sub. So you can see the top soil assessment there and the subsoil, and we do that twice a week, usually on Tuesdays and Fridays. and percent of normal monthly maps. These are just what they are, for the month of October there, and we go all the way back. It's by month. Remember, we have 3 years of data on the site at the moment. High temperatures and low temperatures, and we even have some crop area maps if you're kind of interested where the crops are grown. So we do that for each of the major areas in the world. So again, Canada and China, the former Soviet Union, Europe, India, we do some work with Japan, Mexico and Central America region, New Zealand, North Africa, and South America, and Southeast Asia, and on and on. So you get the idea there. Also on this website, we provide some daily commentary. These are products that are released every day. A daily energy weather outlook. There's in that particular product, we just talk about the temperature anomalies and how that might impact the marketplace. We do a little bit of temperature assessments there and a degree day forecast for various places around the country. In addition to that, we go back to our main page and look at that daily report product again. There's a midday US and South America weather update. This is a market product. It is updated every day after the GFS model has updated. We go into details about what kind of change has occurred and what that means relative to the previous model run. We do world coffee weather. We do a world weather watch product, which is kind of a bulleted product that goes around the world every day and talks about the most important issues of the day. We zoom in on this just a little bit more. Today, you can see Typhoon Kalmagi had just reached into central Vietnam, producing excessive winds and some damage. We talk about not only where the storm is and what its impact has been, but we talk about the impact on the crops. So in the green area down there, you can see the coffee, rice, and corn are specifically mentioned. We talk about flooding and wind damage and all that, and we talk about the area that's impacted. Tropical Storm Feng Wong is a new storm that was developed out there. This broadcast, by the way, was recorded on November the 6th of 2025. So if you're just curious where all this came from. But you can see we've got a bullet here on Morocco about their multi-year drought is still in place. We talk about Europe, where it's wet, where it's dry. We talk about Ukraine. Really, we just go around the world in all the major areas. This is a great first thing in the morning product. It goes through the world and gives you a full assessment of where the problem areas are in the world and what we expect in the near term. If there's going to be a significant change, it'll be mentioned here. This particular product will show up after the market opens in the morning after 8:30, but there is another product that we have which just provides some of the market changes that have occurred overnight. And this is that product. It's very similar. It's a bulleted product. It's emailed out. And you can see here that there are a number of bullets here in the same layout as we had before, basically talking about what has changed overnight. Is there anything that's going to move markets in a major way? It's listed here, and this comes out usually an hour or two before the market opens up, Monday through Friday, and also on Sunday evening. So that product is available as well. In addition to all of that, we do a Brazil coffee weather product, which is like the world coffee product, but it is specific for Brazil and very specific. It comes out fairly early in the day, only talks about Brazil, and then later in the day we'll come up with another what we just add on to that product and create a world weather assessment. Sorry, I'm bouncing around here a little bit too much, but anyway, so we'll take that Brazil coffee weather and we add all the major coffee production areas in the world on here and add our commentary. We talk about tropical cyclones, how they might impact some of the crop areas, et cetera, et cetera. In addition to that, we do a world weather outlook. This is a very detailed product. It's very long, and we don't expect people to read it every day, the whole thing, but it is a detailed forecast for major crop areas around the world. Brazil and Argentina, we can talk about the 2-week outlook. We'll show some past weather imagery there. We also go through and to the Midwest, and we do through bullets. We'll talk about what's most important. Our blue highlighted text tells you what is the weather's, what will the weather's impact be, or what was it on the agricultural crops. So we'll take past weather or forecast weather, and we'll intertwine it with the crops, and it'll tell you exactly what the impact is going to be. If you're looking for a big freeze coming into, who knows, Florida citrus country or something, and you're concerned about what the impact is going to be, we'll talk about it in here briefly, and then we'll write a special situation story. But you can see this product goes on. China, Australia, there's North and South America in general. You got India, South Africa, you get the idea. And this is written every day, goes out 2 weeks. And we do have this market weather mentality section here where we talk about how all of the areas in the world are going to impact the various markets. So in this particular one, we talk about corn and soybeans, and we go through, after we've told you the forecast for the next 2 weeks, we tell you how that is going to impact these markets. And from a weather perspective, we are not market forecasters, but we want you to understand where the weather is going to have an influence on the marketplace. And we do that for wheat areas, we do that for cotton areas, and just about anything else you can think of, trying to cover it all. And we crank out a tremendous amount of product every day. And it can be overwhelming, but if you get in the habit of reading our blue highlighted text every day, you will find that you don't have to read the whole product. If you just read the blue sections, you'll get what you need. Early in the morning, we produce an assortment of past weather maps. In this particular case, there's no precipitation occurring in the U.S., so it's kind of misleading there. There's some in the Pacific Northwest, but we go through some of the more popular areas in the world and present past weather maps. This comes out early in the day before the market opens at 8:30, so that you can see what's happened overnight. If there's been a big rain event in South America or in Australia or something, you're going to know about it, not only from our bulleted World Weather Highlights product, but you'll be able to see it graphically here. All right, there we do an evening update for the U.S. and South America that comes out every evening before the market opens again. And we also do South America, South Africa, and Europe weather outlook product there. All right, we still have a couple of tabs to go through here. We do some weather assessments by crop. This is one we did on citrus. We'll go through all the citrus areas in the world, and we'll talk about how the weather has impacted that crop. We'll do the same thing at times for corn and oil seeds, rice and cotton and softs. Those will all be written periodically. In addition to the weekly crop products, we also have our special situation stories, and this is the crown jewel of what we do. These are written, usually 2 or 3 of them per day. They are intended to update you on what's happening in all the major crop areas that have influence on the weather. So there's one on South Africa, rain coming up that's going to be beneficial for planting and establishment. We have a typhoon story here. Southwestern Europe to see relief from dryness. We'll go into details. Central India rain ends. Here's a story on U.S. weekend cold surge, and it's stress livestock and provide freezes to the Delta. And you can kind of see the kind of graphics we throw in there, talking about the cold as well as some of the other things that are going on that would be impacted by this particular story. Not only talks about the livestock stress potential because of the cold surge, but also the energy market impact as well. We also will cover in the Southern Hemisphere, spring and summer, every week we do a special situation story on Brazil and Argentina. We'll provide a past week's worth of rainfall data We'll show soil moisture at the time, both top and subsoil. Again, we update these maps twice a week, but the story is written once a week here, and provide you with a forecast map, and also try to give you great details as to what's going to happen to the crops as we go forward through the forecast period. So we cover the El Nino and La Nina events. Here's a Southern Oscillation report that we did supporting La Nina and how it's kicking in, and it's going to have an influence on the world, that kind of thing. We do long-range forecasting. Here's an article for the winter forecast for the United States, and we go into detail as to what we expect to occur. We'll do those periodically, more so in North and South America, but we also do some of those for the rest of the world when there's an issue facing some of those crop areas. We will do special situation stories on frost and freeze events. We will present graphics of where the freezes occur. What we will usually do if we know there's going to be a threatening event coming up, we will start writing about it, maybe as much as a week in advance, depending on our level of confidence. And then we will follow it up with a special report, usually within a day or two of the coming event. And then we'll follow it up after the event and talk about what happened and what we believe the impact was on agriculture. So in the case of a tropical cyclone, we'll talk about where it's coming inland, what crops are going to be threatened. We'll talk about the impact of that after the storm has left. And we'll do the same thing with frost and freeze events, excessive rain events, droughts, anything like extreme winds or whatnot, anything that threatens agriculture, we will be reporting on it. And those will be found in the Special Situation Stories tab. And then we do cover all of the tropics on a regular basis. So any tropical cyclone that evolves in the world, we will cover it at least one time. If it's not threatening to land, we probably won't follow it up. But if there's a system that is moving towards land, we will cover it, and we will talk about how it's going to impact agriculture. And sometimes we go beyond that, talk about the energy impact and even the property damage and infrastructure impact in various cases. We will certainly do this on a regular basis. Those storms can be very damaging, as you know, like Melissa this past year. And certainly we were on that issue for quite some time. All right. So that's basically what we provide on this website. The video you're watching right now was part of a new product called World Weather Podcasts and Broadcasts. And there you will find some videos that we are going to make available. Now, that's going to be available by subscription, unfortunately. So this link that you're getting here today is free, of course, and we will post some free items. But if you really want to have our expertise every day, you might subscribe to the podcasts and broadcasts, and we will cover a lot of this in detail. We do expend a lot of time on a daily video, a PowerPoint, covering the world's major agricultural areas. We will point out areas that we are concerned about. We'll show you where the models are failing and where they're doing well. We'll talk about El Nino and La Nina, and we'll give you lots of graphics to look at. I appreciate your time. I hope you know now a little bit more about World Weather Incorporated, and invite you to come and visit us. You can contact us at 913-383-1161. You can go to our website, which you're looking at now, which is www.worldweather.cc. You can find us at Twitter under WorldWix, WORLDWX. And you can email us at worldweather@bizkc.rr.com. That is worldweather.bi, sorry, I said that wrong. Yeah, worldweather@biz, B-I-Z, that's boy, I, zebra, followed by K and C, and then .rr.com. And you can get that information off our website. We will be updating our website over the next few weeks, so that will be changing a little bit, but a lot of what I've shown you here will continue to be available. This is meteorologist Drew Lerner.